Well, with more on this, Cigdem Nas joins us here. She's a professor that specialises in Turkey-EU relations at Yildiz University, Technical University. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
First of all, this visit by Federica Mogherini to Ankara, is it seen as being a little bit late, or is it timely, given what's happening now with everything with refugees and also, of course, where this deal will go between EU and Turkey?
Yes. Of course, it's a bit late if we consider that nearly 2 months have passed since the coup attempt on July the 15th. There was a complaint on the part of Turkey that the EU did not show much support to Turkey after the coup attempt. So it's a bit late in that sense. However, of course, there are many important issues that Turkey and the EU have to decide at the moment with regard to the refugee issue and also the visa issue. There is also the operation going on in Syria, which is also an important security concern for the EU. So they have a lot of things to discuss. So in that sense, it is timely. But when we consider the coup attempt, it's a bit late.
Timely in terms of what we're talking about today, unaccompanied children in Greece, the impact of the fighting and the civil war in Syria. In terms of money here for Turkey, because Turkey has taken the brunt of almost 3 million refugees, do you sense that they are arguing about money? Does it come down to arguing about the 3 billion euros?
Yeah. The 3 billion have already been agreed, but of how it is going to be, I mean, the operational aspects of it are still a bit problematic, how it is going to be dispersed. Recently, I think 350 million have been allocated by the European Union with regard to the support to refugees, cash support to refugees. So I think there is some progress there. So I think it will work. But of course, we have still a long way, really, because it's a total of 3 billion and then 3 billion also for the next 2 years. So we will see how it goes.
28 member states in the European Union, everything happens quite slowly. In terms of the visa liberation deal, how important is this for Turks, for business people, for the economy, but also for the acceptance of Turkey?
I think it's at the moment very important because there has been a process which is going on since 2013, and Turkey has completed many of the criteria. We just have 5 criteria left. And it is both important in terms of the economic relations, the social relations between Turkey and the European Union, but also in terms of giving some dynamism to the process. And also it will be very important in order to, let's say, improve the image of the European Union in the eyes of the Turkish public. So I think it is psychologically and also, of course, economically very important.
You mentioned the 5 chapters, but these essentially are the most difficult chapters of all, and which highlights the differences at the moment between Turkey and the European Union.
Sure. I mean, the terror issue is very important because the EU demands a revision of Turkey's anti-terror legislation. But for Turkey, at the moment, it seems unacceptable because it is dealing with many terror threats. However, I think they are still trying to come up with a formula which will bring a compromise and which will make the visa liberalization process happen. So hopefully in 2017, I think, we may see some progress in that regard.
You seem optimistic. Thank you very much indeed, Professor Cigdem Nas.
Thank you.